Welcome to my embryology series. Today's topic is development of tongue. Tongue is developed in the floor of mouth from the pharyngeal arch. If you didn't watch my earlier video of pharyngeal arch, then please go and watch it for the better understanding of the development of tongue, because tongue is developed from pharyngeal arches. Okay. Then it developed during the 4 to 8 week of embryo. Now we are going to discuss the development of tongue in detail. We know that the first pharyngeal arch, also known as mandibular arch, and in the middle of this arch there are two lingual swellings which are separated by a small swelling known as tubercular impair, and from the tubercular impair there is a thyroglossal duct which form the thyroid gland. The main origin is from foramen cecum, but the formation of thyroid gland we will going to discuss in further videos. Okay. From the now we are going to discuss about this, what will happen to lingual swelling. Let us look at the diagram. It is a diagram of pharyngeal arch showing the first to sixth arch in roughly. Then in the middle of second and fourth arch there is another swelling known as hypobrachial eminence. It also has two parts, cranial and caudal. Cranial part is present in second arch while caudal in fourth arch. It is all about the pharyngeal arch. Now we are discussing about the lingual swellings. The lingual swellings which are present in a first pharyngeal arch, they now proliferate and grow bigger in a size to form anterior two-thirds of tongue. Whereas tubercular impair, which is present in between them, they form thyroid gland. Okay, and the fate of foramen cecum is it remain as it is. In a tongue, there is sulcus terminalis which divide the tongue into anterior two-thirds and posterior one-third part, while the cranial part of hypobrachial eminence develop the posterior one-third of tongue, and caudal part of hypobrachial eminence develop the posterior most part of tongue, which lies in a fourth arch. Okay, then another is from these we know that anterior two-thirds is developed from lingual swellings and posterior one-third is developed from cranial part, and posterior most is developed from caudal part of hypobrachial eminence. It means that only two lingual swellings and one hypobrachial eminence take part in the formation of tongue. Now look at the diagram showing the two lingual swelling. These are two lingual swellings, and the hypobrachial eminence is also shown. In the second diagram, the lingual swelling get bigger and fused to form anterior two-thirds of tongue. In the diagram C, it is clearly seen that the anterior two-thirds and well-developed tongue is formed. Now we are going to discuss the how mucosa and other structures are developed. Mucosa of tongue is derived from endoderm, while muscles are derived from occipital myotoma. The muscles of tongue are both intrinsic and extrinsic. Okay, while the nerve supply of tongue is from first pharyngeal arch. Why? Because lingual swellings are present in first pharyngeal arch, and we know that first pharyngeal arch is double innervation. So which two nerves? Mandibular nerve and fifth cranial nerve, which is known as trigeminal nerve. Therefore, the anterior two-thirds of tongue is supplied by cauda tympani branch of facial nerve, but the facial nerve doesn't supply the first pharyngeal arch. Why then? It took part in the anterior two-thirds because facial nerve supply the second pharyngeal arch, but the branch of facial nerve, that is cauda tympani, it supplies the anterior two-thirds of tongue. It supplies the first pharyngeal arch, okay, and they carry a special senses. And then lingual branch of mandibular nerve, we know that it is a mandibular nerve and it carry a general senses. Then posterior one third of tongue is supplied by glossopharyngeal nerve. Why? Because posterior one third is developed from cranial part of hypobrachial eminence, and cranial part of hypobrachial eminence lie in a third pharyngeal arch, and third pharyngeal arch is supplied by glossopharyngeal nerve. So here is the reason why posterior one third is supplied by glossopharyngeal nerve. And the posterior most part of tongue, which is developed in the region of fourth arch, is supplied by recurrent laryngeal nerve. So this is all about the development of tongue and their nerve supply. And look at the diagram showing the pharyngeal arches with the two lingual swelling and hypobrachial eminence, and this diagram also. So thank you guys for listening my videos and watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.